Hello, folks. Welcome to Pro Trader Strategies. My name is Eric Wilkinson, and this is Spotting the Trade. What we're trying to do is get what you need to know before you go, and that starts with some economic data. Then we'll build with some market analysis, and finally wrap it up with some option strategies we can find to implement into our repertoire at any given time. But before you do go, make sure you smash that like button for me. It helps us out, and make sure you're subscribing over there with the little bell, because the bell will give you an indication when I'm in here unannounced. So if I'm just in here chatting, you'll know about it. All right. So without further ado, let's get on with the economic data. Something we were talking about is the Institute for Supply Management numbers yesterday. Those numbers coming in better than expected across the pond, and not disappointing here in the United States as well, coming in at 75.6 yesterday. Slightly lower than what was expected, but folks, in the 70s is a pretty darn good number. We did see construction spending ramp up quite nicely from 0.2%, or last month's number, which got revised up as well. It was 0.2 as well. Last month got revised up to 0.8%, but last month's reading, this month's come through. We got a 1.3% increase in construction spending. That is a pretty nice sign there. Vehicle sales, sorry about that, did wane a little bit, coming in about 300,000 vehicles under expectations, came in at 14.1 million vehicles sold. Not really surprising here, folks, because we're talking about still limited supply. Folks are going out and buying cars because they need one. They're not necessarily getting the color that they originally wanted as well. So we're going to watch that. As soon as these cars start coming back, I think we'll see those sales rebound, as there's a lot of pent-up demand for folks looking for cars. They just can't find maybe the color they want, or some of the add-ons, or maybe leather seats versus cloth seats. They can't get that in a black vehicle, or maybe a blue vehicle. All right. So those are what we're seeing, folks holding off, waiting for that. Later today, though, we do have a lot of stuff going on. ADP, non-farm payroll. Remember, first Friday of the month coming right around the corner. We got our non-farm payroll coming up here Friday. So this is a precursor to that, give us a little bit of flavor as to what that number is going to look like. And then finally, we also get Powell speaking. Bank of England is also, or Bank of Canada, is expected to come out with their rates, but nobody really watches that, and I don't think they're going to do a whole lot. All right, so with being behind us, let's move on to the markets. We've got crude oil moving up into the $100 a barrel mark. As a matter of fact, we blew by that yesterday, settled inside of 100 now. The shorts are on their heels. This is due to the fact that we're talking about supply constraint issues, and we just saw those manufacturing numbers. Those are good. That means there's demand there for crude oil. So that's not surprising to see this move. What's surprising is the extent and how quickly it has moved. And that is due to the fact that we're watching Russia go into the Ukraine. Now, if you watched the State of the Union yesterday, it was pretty much a green light, or a boots on the ground, or free to do whatever they want over in Russia moving into the Ukraine, because they are part of NATO. So we're not going to defend them. That literally gave them the green light over in Russia to start really moving. Now, what's going to happen? Well, if there's no real pushback, we could see this really exacerbate into ancillary areas as well. Why is Russia really going to the Ukraine? Well, a lot of folks are saying because that is the black market for Russia, if you will. So they want to kind of get rid of that and take that back under control, which is not really surprising. But I think that, I think this is, let's see how far we can push this button. So we got crude oil moving higher. If Russia starts limiting production, something we probably should have seen last night to give us a little bit of freedom from these higher prices in crude oil and at the pump, is to say, hey, we are going to limit the production here in the United States, but what we are going to do is sanction some of this Russian oil coming out of Russia. Well, we didn't really see that. They're still basically letting Putin do what he wants, and it's going to affect us negatively, folks. All right, bonds continuing to move higher, trying to test that 160 handle. Just came shy of that yesterday. I thought we were going to see that, but we aren't out of the woods yet, folks. I do not really see this type of rate hikes that everybody was expecting coming into 2022 with everything in the turmoil going on geopolitically. It just does not seem like it's something that can be done very easily. Maybe they'll go a couple of basis points just to save face, but at the end of the day, I do not think we're going to see 2-point moves. It'll probably be more like a 50 to 75 basis point move by the end of all of this is my guess. Now, Bitcoin was trying to make some moves yesterday, got above that 4,300 area that we were talking about. 44,000 is where we're looking for the market to start moving towards. In the past, that's going to be a point where folks are finding value, or at least feel like there's some value there as we've gone above this Fibonacci and started moving back towards those prices that folks are a little bit more accustomed to. And that is where I think people will start coming back in. Some of the weaker hands will start coming back into the market. Gold, as close as we came to 20 or to 2000, I don't know if we're going to be able to claw back up there right away, but I do think that that is a target that the market is going to be keeping an eye on. Something to watch here is this trend channel. I think that's going to act as a support moving forward. Now, I wanted to go over here to some of the commodities, as we're not usually talking about these so much, but we could take a look at corn. As a matter of fact, it's not N, it's Z, sorry, corn. We can look at corn, soybeans, all of these prices have started jacking up. And this is due to a weakening dollar and the turmoil going on. But one thing that we really were concerned about earlier is wheat prices. And look at this, wheat prices just making this massive move to the upside. A lot of this is that tension. Now, are we near those highs? You can see that we have had a spike in the last 20 years up into the 13 handle there. But as we start pulling back, we'll see that double digit type of move is really a very rare occasion. As a matter of fact, that happened back in 2008. That's what those prints are from, folks. So that type of turmoil, these type of prices really is what gets this moving. Now, Ukraine is a big exporter of wheat. So that's why we're also seeing these wheat prices here massively spike, which is pretty crazy move. A part of this is exacerbated by the fact that here in the United States, the Midwest has not gotten the type of snow that they would like to see in the wintertime. We'd like to see a blanket of snow over these fields because that's what helps germinate this winter wheat. Now, when it's exposed and we have colder weather, it can really affect those seeds. So, in that germination process, that's not what we've been seeing this year. So folks are a little bit worried about how this wheat will emerge in the spring here. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Check out tomorrow. We're going to be doing a webinar. We're following along with cracking the code to trading options. So please check that out. And then I'm doing a special guest video with Westmark Trading, and we're going to be talking about options there as well. So if you want to check those out, go to Pro Trader Strategies. And before you go, smash that like button and subscribe. It does help us out. I'll circle back around, folks, to make sure you guys are all clear concept. So if you have any questions, make sure you throw it over in the comment box. All right. So we'll see you tomorrow. If you can't take that, take it easy.